What's up?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Not too bad. Having a fantastic day fucking with the computer. But work.
You look like you're exhausted, man.
A little bit. Part of it's the light. I'm trying to put a fan in here, right? Because the screens are so hot, bro. So I went to put a ceiling fan in, except they put in a bunch of like retro, they call it like old work boxes. Basically, like I'm not going to trust it to hold a fan, you know? So I went and bought the boxes. Like I can put them in, but I have to go in the attic, and it's something to do when the kids aren't here. So I have my shop fan, the garage fan, on with the door open, because literally, dude, in this room, which it's only like 12 by 12, right? It's got to be almost 80 degrees without the fan moving. You walk into the hallway, dude, and it's like 72. So it's just like a hot box without any, movement. So I'm hoping that changes it, once I can get it in. But right now I don't have it in. So I'm not only I'm not really that tired, but I was sweaty. I even took a shower, and I just instantly started to sweat. I was like, no, I can't do this.
Sure.
Yeah, but not too bad. Where'd he go? Matt Fuller went offline. No, I'm doing EMs right now. I can share the screen.
I'm here.
I know. I saw your face. I just had to talk shit. Gotta talk a little trash. Yeah, you guys see that, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Dude, Square looks good for this week.
Yeah, I was looking at it. A couple of them actually look pretty good. Especially now, it looks like the market's kind of pulling back a little bit.
I know, it'd be nice. Get a little entry, maybe, for once.
Yeah, I was expecting some kind of pullback because we just went straight up on Friday.
I mean, I'm glad to see it now. And not, I'd rather see it now overnight, give us a launch point in the morning. I mean, obviously, instead of getting it straight in the morning, I mean, we'll see what it does. Make sure it doesn't pull back like crazy on us. But, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really glad we ended up bullish and did not have a huge issue last week. Because now we can set up, I mean, a slight pullback with like a nice launch. I mean, I would have loved a big pullback, but at the same time, dude, it's nice to see the market strong. It will be interesting if we start getting some volume, but I don't know. When does volume come in normally? I know summertime is slow, so.
I think September, I was kind of looking back this weekend. I was looking back at some of the previous Septembers. Normally, it seems like we have 2 weeks down, 2 weeks up. September, October is the way it looks like it plays out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get volume and it pushes us down for no real reason, just to kind of, I think, to try to get entries and stuff going into the holidays, because after October, we pretty much just go up from that point.
Right. That's what I thought. And I mean, it makes sense, dude. You think about these institutions taking positions, on like a quarter, month to month, if not quarter basis, right? So it's been such a big push, and then into earnings. I don't know if that's the low volume. I mean, it's not like everything. I mean, it's, we made all-time highs on the indexes, but if you look at like Square here, it had enough of a pullback that just seems like profit taking. What is that? So that's like 2 weeks worth. So when was their earnings? Oh, that was right after earnings. Well, the earnings pushed up and then it pulled back. So I definitely think that we could see some nice movement. But I'm gonna make a video, another one of that active trader. I know that you said you found some videos, which they probably will tell you everything I can, but I want to show like what I do with the active trader and because I really like that, Marcus. I think it definitely like adds or benefits like how fast in and out I can get into shit. I can actually see where the chain, like where the orders are in the chain, at least for that one contract, right? So I can see the price, I can see there's, 300 fucking orders at a certain price, and I can either set mine just above that to make sure I'm not getting, I'm still like trailing it, or you can set it under and pretty much know you can get filled without having to do a market.
So are you using that, like, can you set, is it stop, are you using like stops doing that? Are you actually actively like in and out?
I use it when I'm actively in and out, but well, I say that though, dude, I can set, when you say set a stop, I mean, for contracts, I don't ever really set a stop, but I will put in, you can do conditions on that. And actually on desktop, dude, you can do, like, you can put a full horse OCO order in on it. I mean, I don't know if it'd be worth doing that on Active Trader, but what you could do, I mean, you can see where the movement is and where the volume has been. That's the other thing that it shows. It'll give you a volume graph, like a horizontal graph at that price level. So you can see where the big volume was. So yeah, you could easily set you could set a condition below that. And I've done that in the past, man, where like, I mean, I don't care what the contracts, if it gets below, say it gets below, $500, like I'll put in a limit order for like $490, right? Or $495 even, depending on what stock it is. I mean, depends on how big the spread is too, but and that normally is pretty much guaranteed to fill, because by the time it tags 500, dude, it immediately puts in an order $5 or $10 cheaper, and it's going to get eaten up. The only thing that doesn't work well on is something like Shop, but just because of how big the spread can be.
Shop's hard to get filled, so yeah.
It's Shop.
There's a couple that are like that though too, where I've actually, the one video I did see, the guy added buy the ask and sell the bid. So if you were trying to like fill a position or get out of a position quickly, it's nice to have those buttons.
Dude, and
like hotkeys,
yeah. Well, you can use hotkeys and definitely hotkeys. I don't do it enough. I haven't gotten comfortable with it enough to actually trust myself, but they do sell, dude, a hotkey like pad. It's actually something you can buy separately. Boiler Room Trading has a really good video on that. He bought one, dude, and you can, like, each key has a little LCD screen on it, so you can actually like put an image there, whether it's like an arrow, or you can actually put buy or +10. I mean, he's doing it in stock, so he has a whole setup, but I mean, it's completely customizable, and I think it's under like $500. It's not something that I got into, I like ran to the store and bought, but it's really interesting seeing, and it's a separate keypad, right? So I mean, it's not your keyboard that you're typing on. I mean, you can do that obviously with the keyboard, but it was interesting, man. It's lit up, it's backlit. It has, big square, probably,
Yeah, you're kind of talking about like when you do like podcasting and stuff, that audio receiver that has like a different sounds you can program and stuff into it. It's kind of similar to that.
It's probably very similar to that, and that may be what people use it for the most. He definitely has it set up. There's a whole video on it. It was interesting. It had to be probably
program like hotkey. Is that what it is?
Yeah, but it's not just hotkey programmer. That is what it is. But it's but you can literally just make like the keys. Yeah, well, it's a whole bunch of buttons, right? I don't know if it's like 12 or 16, but you can make them, like, you can make one red with like an arrow in it, like a white arrow. It's completely customizable. So like on your actual keypad, like you see this change. It was really interesting, dude. It was fucking like whatever you program on your computer shows up. So if you're using it for podcasting, you could 100% put, a sound on it. You could put boom, right? And just have the boom, you hit that and it makes the boom sound. But it's customizable enough that it's, so I don't know. It was pretty interesting. That had to be like 6 months ago. So I'm not sure how to find that necessarily, but trying to move this out of the way. So let's see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've seen what it was because I looked at it stuff before. So.
Yeah,
But
it's,
anyway.
That would be for scalping. You need to move
Well,
quick.
well, yeah, if you want to go in and out, like it makes it easier instead of smashing like multiple keys at one time. You essentially just program one button. So you just press one button, it does whatever you want it to do. You program it whatever you want it to do.
it's definitely for, scalping or quicker entries,
Yeah, it's definitely a scalping thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, as much as I'd love to get everybody on board with it, I don't think it's worthwhile. Let's look. I want to show. I do have a playlist, and I'll post this. I took a bunch of these. Well, some of these are the earnings plays, and then a lot on the bottom came off of Alpha Trader. His stocks to watch video. I don't know if you guys watch him at all, but he's worth it.
He put out a video this morning, didn't he?
Yeah, he does every Sunday, dude. But there's some good ones on here. I mean, like Docs, dude. Like we've been following that for a minute. There we go.
Oh, is that where you get most of your calls? You go off that list?
He's just one guy that I watch. Like he's more of a swing trader, but he also, it's like Richard Mulligan. So, Mike kind of threw in, like Mike turned me on to him like, I don't know, a year ago. It's part of the Can Slim team.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, so I can post the videos again in here. They have good picks and they follow now. Like Richard does more breakouts, but dude, it's great for scalping, right? I'm not swing trading as much, but like there's some pretty good picks on there. Now a lot of it crosses over, like Square. I'm already watching Square, right? He popped that up, but once in a while I get they're good for the mid caps and small caps, which is not really my hot spot, So instead of searching through scans or whatever, I kind of go to them and see what they're talking about. So I will. I'm gonna post that here. I'll post it in the info trading, I guess. See if I can do this.
Yeah, I've been watching Square for past week actually. I was watching that daily support because when it tested it last week, it kind of just blew through it, and then now it looks like it's trying to break back up and retest it from the top side again.
Yeah,
Square's definitely what I like it.
We can look at PayPal real quick. I'm trying to share this. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. I probably have to export it and then do it as a document, I guess. Yeah.
So what do you just starting the market overall cues? What do you
Yeah,
think?
we're gonna go over it here. So yeah, basically let's go over the SPY was looking good. We'll get back to it. Actually, I can do that. I mean, we might as well stay on the indexes because it's going to give us. Yeah. I mean, what I'm looking for here is to come down and retest the zone here, right? If we're actually going to drop, if we make it below, that's not even really valid anymore. I mean, honestly, we got to make it above that or below that. So we'll see what happens. But, that's the, I guess, just under 4,500, right? But I'm bullish on it, man. Look at it on the daily. We're talking about.
Just go straight up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just straight up, right? Now, could we come back down? Say we come back down. I mean, this is bullish all the way down to, what's that, 20 or 42.50? I'm not sure what that is on SPY, but it doesn't always line up exactly. That's going to be right.
Well, even if we pull back or correct, like you've been calling out, it's been bouncing off that 50 every time it comes down to 50 on the daily.
Dude, that is 100%. Look at it right here, right? That's a perfect example. Yeah. I mean, it comes down, it touches it. It got below it here, but when it does, dude, you're almost, I don't want to say guaranteed, but I've been buying it every time we did, just because it's rocking up. I mean, if I'm wrong once, like it's been paid for already, it's worth the risk to take a grab. So yeah, if it passes the 50, maybe set an alert on the 50. That's a pink line, obviously. That's a 50.
You can set alerts on the 50 on TradingView, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I can literally go right here. right click it. Well, I gotta click on it, and I can just do add alert on MA one day 50 close. So right there, and that line will actually move with it as as it goes on. So or as the days go on. This is pretty much useless. There. But yeah, on the 4 hour. Yeah, this is getting recorded, right, Matt?
Yes. Yeah, it's recorded.
All right, yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. So we can post that later, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm just
Tommy,
because I got crap going on in the background and don't want to.
Yeah, no, I don't know, Marcus. You probably don't know. Matt said he's been working like 14 to 16-hour days nonstop because they're about to go. You guys are about. Oh, dude, why didn't you say?
Yeah, we just hadn't. It's just been busy.
Yeah, I bet, dude. This is what I don't like about trading. Watch this. I don't understand. I just did the EMs on this, right? Here's the EMs, the correct ones. But because I'm on that window, oh, shit. I have that off the whole time. That's good. Well,
We talk
let's see
about
if this-
crypto too before we leave.
Yeah, definitely, man. I don't need you guys to deal with my idiot self trying to figure this out. But anyways, yeah. Here's the thing, right? There's the 50. There's an obvious zone. This is on the index, but I mean, look at that. That's like perfect, right? To me, that's like major support. Obviously, it's where we bam, 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 bam. I really don't expect us to get down here, but definitely, like Marcus was saying, if we do, that's a buy spot. So I set my alert on SPY, not on. Yeah, see, I'm gonna have to fix those now.
Yeah, but see, if you also look at it, it went pretty far past that support. So, but I see what you're saying.
Oh no, it did.
What is that? The purple line 50? Okay.
I mean, it went right down to the 50 here.
Okay, I see it.
You know what I'm saying? But the 50's up here. That would be a good spot. But yeah, I mean, it may. I guess my point is, like, you want a good entry, right? That's why this zone is sat here. This zone was here before. It has to do with the month, actually, if I remember right. Yeah. So, no, that was this month. Never mind.
It's all on the screen.
We've been doing this for so long, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
I mean, I don't expect I expect like a major pullback, like in the beginning of the year, sometime around there. And I think
agree.
even
I mean,
like the dips we're going to get now, I think we're going to be very diluted compared to what we've had in the past.
Yep.
And come next month and the month after.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, and see QQQ saved here. But all right, let's look at QQQ. Obviously, we can look at the indexes here. I mean, for me, QQQ has been lagging, right? We may still follow this trend. I mean, all this is a reference. But if you look at like the weekly, we've stayed in this, pretty consistently. That's obviously the drop. That's the original crash. The thing is, like, this is lagging. Everybody's talking about how it's lagging. It's lagging in volume. And that's how last week I was kind of, once we bounced, let's go back to the daily because I can show you why the sentiment or whatever you want to say, my gut was kind of like, this is so bullish. We dropped here and then immediately, boom, picked right back up, right? Once we basically got above here, like it's such a bullish sign. I mean, obviously I was still cautious at all-time highs, but I mean, that wasn't even last week, right? That was the week before. Yeah. Where were we at last week? I think we were here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So once we broke all
the only reason we saw it was because of the Afghanistan stuff. And I mean, there was a flurry of news that came out. That's why we got that little bit of a dip. We should have known because we should have known at that point because
it didn't sell off.
Everything hit support and then it held support until the next day and then everything popped.
Absolutely, dude. And that was definitely another sign. I mean, the reality is that if that news couldn't sell us off more than it did, I mean, we didn't even get back to support. right? I mean, like that's real support here on 4 hour.
Yeah.
We didn't even get back there. We just kind of bounced. What is that? 20, I think. I don't even know what my own EMAs are. Yeah, that's the 20 on the 4 hour. So, which I don't even use that much. But you can see it followed. I'll tell you, the EMAs are really good in a bullish upturn. I've been even on like the 5 minute, dude, especially the 1 hour. I know you use that a lot, Marcus. I don't know. Do you use them at all, Matt?
What's that?
You use the EMAs at all?
Yeah, 250.
Yeah. I mean, they're good. I use the 50 SMA, but I do have the 100 EMA. I mean, that works on the daily and on the weekend.
And I've used a bunch of them. I've only used the 2050 and 200 now.
Yep. I mean, the thing is, you can find, you can definitely like make it. It'll always work at some point. That doesn't mean that it'll work when you want it to, obviously. You know, my thing is, I'm looking at
price action.
Well, that's what I wanted to look at. And I think it's on the indexes, so we'll look at that in a minute. But price action here, I mean, you look where this, if say we do drop down, right? And that's if we drop, and we blow past, you know, this 21 on the 4 hour. We get down to EM here, expected move. That is literally the best support that I would buy it. So this is one of those things I probably should put an alert on it, even though I watch it every day. But that would be a place I put the alert. That's clear to 370.29. And because even if we get a wick below it, I feel like we're going to hold here and go. And that's if we drop, right? It depends on what we do overnight, obviously. But yeah, see, we haven't even, it's already getting bought back up. Yeah, look at that. This is price action right here. I think that's what I wanted to show. This is price action, right? That's not even the body of the candle, but that's the wick. And real price action would be this here, right? The close, and that really lines up too, but the open and close of these two candles, the open of the green, I mean, this is beautiful price action. Comes down, stays above, dips, right? And then boom, we bounce off. But now the thing is, you want to see it close. The big thing with price action that I learned at least is you want to see it close on that basis, right? So daily basis, you can see close to where we open, we dip, we're staying above it. As long as we stay above this, I don't know when this candle won't actually close until tomorrow night. So it won't help us a lot today. You can go to the 4 hour and do the same thing. Same with the 1 hour. But if we're staying above this on the 1 hour, that's a bullish sign where I'm buying Monday morning. You know, I'm not a pro at price action, but it is. I mean, it's such a combination of everything that I've learned. But I will recommend that guy Heath. He does Forex, but his price action analysis, bro, is insane. Like, it's on point. It's simple. It's all he does. He keeps it simple for everybody, and it's worth kind of checking out his live streams. The other thing is he's up, he's on early in the morning. So if you're up, like some of us are, I know you're probably not, Matt, but for anyone else that watches this later on, he's on at like 5:30 Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, but that's what I was looking at with that. If we do come down, obviously, yes, it's not saving. Damn it, dude. I screwed that up. I should have had that link. Anyways, that's the alert. 370.29. If we can get to 369, great. That's real support. But we'd have to get below here too. So another price action analysis would be, you got these red candles in here, so you're gonna see issues here. We're probably going to bounce here first, but if not, I would definitely sit right here. I would expect a bounce, and if not, then down to 370. Do you agree with that, Marcus? I know you have experience with price action, so.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I play as price action. After I get into stock, I watch the price action. But for me, it's more that's why I watch the hourly candles, because I want to see where it opens, especially if it's looking weak. I want to see if that next candle opens above or below essentially where my line is at, where my
Yep.
support or resistance is at. So if that candle opens above, more likely it's bullish. And then you will get a dip back, a retest, which will come back a couple, depending on what stock you're playing, obviously, but I'll pull back a little bit and then give you enough for a little entry there and then pop. But
Yep. No, good. Yeah, I figured that's what. I mean, it definitely helps to know that if we're, if people are following us in the chat, it's also just a great. I mean, it's what price does, and it makes sense because as much as we can guess what things do, and news does drive the price, but if you're looking for real entries, like the only thing we have is the candles, right? And the daily is really the biggest one, but then right down to the hourly where you're taking your entries. I mean, I love the hourly, and I even trade. I mean, first price action works down to 5 minutes, and even 3 minute candles. I've been doing that for the first.
I don't know how you guys can see that. I tried looking at the 15 the other day, and I'm like, it's like breaking the lines and like jumping back over the lines. I'm like, this is just a hot mess. So, like, I had to flip it back to the 1 hour.
Well,
can't watch the lower
I
time
will
frame.
say, dude, 100% though. I don't really put my lines on. Like, I'm still trading off of the daily, the 4 hour and the 1 hour, right? But I'll hop down to that 3 minute, really just in the beginning, so I can see what the stock's doing. Because if I'm just watching the first hour candle and open, it doesn't, like, I still want to know my levels, the price action levels, but I don't, like, it doesn't, I can watch that candle a little bit, even the 15 minute. You only have one candle. So once we're to like 10 o'clock, I'm off of the 3 minute.
Yeah.
Unless I'm in something. If I'm in something and I'm scalping, then yeah, I'll post 3 minute, 5 minute charts. But I'm still playing off of price action levels of like the hour and the daily, I mean, the 4 hour too, but really the daily gives you a solid entry points to it.
I measure out on my daily supports, and then typically everything is done on an hour at that point. And I guess I've watched, when it comes to price action, like I guess I've watched the 1 hour candle so much that
that you're comfortable with it, right?
Yeah, you can see the fluctuation in the candle, and it's more. I guess it's more visible to see when you start losing momentum. Like I can typically call momentum out when it starts losing momentum, because you can see it in the candle, that 1 hour candle, as opposed to the lower time frames. I mean, that's something I've picked up on because I've only traded off the 1 hour for I don't know how many years now, but.
Right, but that makes, I gotta be honest, like it takes me. So when I started going down on the time frames, probably like 6 months ago, well, more than 6, because it was the end of last year when I really got into like start scalping, whatever. It is uncomfortable though, right? So I was just watching it, attempting to take some trades. So that definitely took some time, because not even that I understand the hour at like your level, right? Because I don't have, the years and years of just trading off the 1 hour, but to go down to like the 15 minute, or especially the 5 minute, the 3 minute for me is relatively new, but it's so close to the 5 minute that it's the same deal. But dude, it's easy to get caught in like tunnel vision, I guess is the best way to say it, right? Like it's micro tunnel vision, and unless those hour and daily levels are marked out, it's easy to get smoked because you just miss. I miss, at least. Like, I don't know. I've watched guys. I know they can trade on the 1 minute. It just doesn't seem effective until I'm in a position and I'm scalping, right? Like that's the only time I even care about it. And I get that's probably why they do it, but I don't know. I want to come out to the, I mean, I want to see what the standard deviation channel is, right? On TOS for the 4 hour and daily. I'm marking those levels as well. They tend to line up with price action very well, but like, if you don't know where that shit is, dude, you're gonna be like, why did we reject it? And now I'm getting out of a contract that has lost momentum, which for something with a heavy price tag, I mean, any price tag really eats you alive. Like, you want to sell into strength. That's a big thing that's worked well for me. I'd rather take profits early into strength, because on something like Tesla Shop, Amazon, even something like Coin, Square, it loses like the bounce. In order to get back to where I was when I would have sold, takes me another hour sometimes. That's if
But
it
what
goes
are you
bullish.
trading just purely weeklies? Are you doing monthlies or what?
It depends on the date, but yeah, I'll do monthlies. I like monthlies. I'd rather give myself some time. I mean, if I'm scalping, I'll go out a week, to 2 weeks, but I really like 2 to 3 weeks out. And I'll even
Yeah.
jump to the monthly if we're on the monthly contract, just because they have volume a lot of times. Like if you look at Shop, dude, the monthlies tend to have a lot more volume. And that's the same for a lot of them. But I mean, if I'm trading like SPX or SPY, QQQ, the ETF, the index ETFs, I just look for whatever has volume, or not even volume, but open interest is my number one. But I do look at volume because you kind of want to see if that was like sold a long time ago. You want to see what people are doing that day. But definitely, I'm looking for open interest, I guess. Yeah, but
Well, that's something
I'm looking for
too. Something I've been learning too is to understand. I mean, the market's obviously been extremely bullish, so a lot of the premiums and stuff have been jacked up. But if you can get a basic understanding of the premiums and kind of what the normal baseline premium is for like the SPX, right? Like, and look at the difference between the calls and the puts. Like a lot of different times, like the premiums for like the calls right now for SPX are like ridiculous, and like even the puts are like so low price that they're not expecting it to come down. So that's something I've been like trying to teach myself too, is to watch the premiums on the chain to see what's getting priced in and what's not.
Dude, 100%. And that's how guys trade just the chain. They don't care about charts, right?
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that out. I'm like, how can people just watch the chain? But yeah, a lot of people just trade off the chain. They don't even look at a chart.
No. And I mean, and that's for scalping, swing trading. I mean, it's really more even for swing trading, especially if you can give yourself a little time. And that is, I mean, it works for both because you're right about the premium. And I don't understand it 100% enough I don't want to pretend like I know what I'm talking about, but I definitely agree. If you watch it, you start to see inconsistencies. And I mean, implied volatility is a great indicator, right? Checking out, like you say, that sizzle index, basically, call put ratio, or not ratio, but price ratio, I guess you want to say. I was going to open up.
I've watched what is the tape a lot of times too, because I started reading the tape a little bit too. It can be kind of crazy to watch too, but misleading at times too.
Are you talking about like not active trader, but level 2 type stuff?
Is it level 2 that I watch? It's
like
not
basically
level 2. It's essentially watching the ask and bid, watching the order flow that comes in.
Okay, yeah.
Which I guess is level 2. I don't even open level 2.
I think that's and
bid. Yeah, so I guess it would be level 2. I guess so.
I think it is. The only issue I have with that is that it happens so fast now, right? Like, I mean,
you're watching the numbers and
you gotta. That's something I think just experience brings, because, and the best thing you can do, especially if you have the time, is just like watching the premiums. Watch. Watch
level 2.
Yeah, watch it. Although I think looking at the chains, and just like you say, watching the ask and bid price move around and look at, compare it to the puts at the same level. Even if you just start right at the money, right? Just look at those maybe 4 different contracts, 2 calls, 2 puts, and just watch, how they change, especially as something starts to move or something. I mean, these meme stocks have been a gift as far as that's concerned. Like, watch the meme stocks when they start to, rock and roll or drop.
Man, I cashed in on some AMC last week.
Did you?
And those things are ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
After that first pump, like I played it the next morning and I scalped it, and then after that, like it started dying off and I stopped playing it.
Dude, that's freaking great.
But yeah, definitely it's something to keep an eye on. Something I want to keep an eye on is, look, when puts start accumulating more premium, that's probably we should start being more cautious during that time. Because right now they're pretty low price. So when they start building premium, they're expecting probably a drop at some point. So during that time, if you're watching the week, the nice thing about SPX is they expire every day, don't they? They have contracts or every other day, I believe.
SPX.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's every day. I want to say it is every day, dude, except for
it's Thursday. I
I
think
think
it's the
it's
only day that doesn't.
it's is it 3 times a week? I
Yeah,
don't know,
Monday,
we can
Wednesday,
look
and
it up.
Friday. I think expirations. Yeah.
I think it's like 3 times a week, something like that. But the damn it, dude, I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna have to do this video tomorrow when the market's open. But the active trader, there's some really cool shit with the active trader because you can watch. I mean, it's only one contract, right? But pick your contracts. You can, and I mean, you can split. I have 4 windows open, all in one, right? So, I mean, I can show you.
Well, the one I watched, yeah, you have what I have open now is I have the chain, and I also have I have like a separate chart, but I only load the contract in that chart, and then I can trade that active trader from there.
Exactly. I mean, and listen, you can chart trade off desktop, so it's hard to. What's this?
Which I don't typically do. Anytime I do take contracts, it's always been I do everything off my phone, and I just look at my charts and stuff on my other two screens.
I want to say, I don't think it's going to let me choose it, but you'll get a price level here and you can actually move it around, so you can click on it and drag it up. And
yeah, like the old active. Yeah, that's why I used to, when I was first trading shares, I used to only trade that way, and I used to love that way. And so if I can do that with options, it's awesome.
It's great. Yeah. And the cool thing is you'll start to get, you see where my cursor is, right? You'll get volume bars here, horizontal. So let's say, 117 is a big spot. You'll get a big blue line here. And I mean, you'll see these areas of volume and it holds them. So like you can go back, I mean, it holds it for the day. This is obviously, in this contract, this is, it's this week expiration. So I wouldn't trade this probably now. Although if we got a big enough dip, dude, I'll buy a bunch of different contracts. If they have high volume, I'll get one that's like 2 in the money, at the money, and like 2 to 4 out of the money, like levels, right? Or price, strikes out of the money. And I just try to, I'll buy whatever, a handful of each, something that I can taper out of. But my biggest thing is that I try not to get, if I'm doing it with active trader, if I'm scalping it, I'm not doing it any more than 4 because you got to be able to watch it, right? But this, I mean, I can move this all around, and make it normal, whatever. And you can get the chart or you can just have the chain. But if you click auto send here, then I mean, as soon as I click on this buy, sell, you got to do it in the green or the red. I mean, you're good to go. I mean, if you turn this off, this auto send, then it makes you confirm it, which, it's a safety thing, obviously. But the cool thing is, I guess that's what I wanted to show you. This is just an example, but I can look back here and see where this contract has been. And you got to kind of figure in for theta, because obviously theta is eating it. But I know, like, let's say I'm thinking of bullish, right? I can set my sell order at 180 and just kind of walk away from that contract because I know I have alerts if it drops. I'm still watching the stocks and the markets. But I mean, the thing is, you get a pop like on this wick here, right? This was obviously Tuesday or Wednesday morning. You get this pop at open, boom, you get a fill, right? So maybe I'd see that went up to 181. It looks like, I think that's what it did. So at 180, say we get a pop, something like that up, it would fill it, right? That's helped me big time because I can set that before market opens. And on something like Shop, it happened last week. The Shop had a pop, I forget which day it was. You can probably look at it here. It's really, it's something that has come in really handy for me. So I think we're back to that. You guys see the charts again?
Yeah, I see it.
I almost want to say it was Monday. It was whatever. It might have been, maybe it was this day. Was that Thursday? Because we sold off. And I'm pretty sure I swung it. We didn't get the breakout on shop, but there was enough bounce, you know, in between there that it ended up playing out pretty well. So obviously I'm following shop. I do see this overall. It's kind of like what Morello's been posting. This is almost like a bull flag. It's better on the 4 hour. And if you look, this is where I like the moving averages. I mean, you look here, right? We haven't actually touched the 50 yet, but we're staying above this. I think we're going to break out as long as we don't have a big pullback. I could see us breaking out. Now, if we do pull back 1,500 or even, you know, expected to move below it, this blue zone, it's phenomenal to buy. I mean, lately it's, you know, it's gotten picked up. I mean, obviously this shit sucked. This was just a shitty week for shop, but I normally catch enough bounces in between here to make up for it. So, let's look at Tesla real fast. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to get off of this. If it's not, dude, I can't believe I didn't have the link on. It's driving me nuts because now I have to go to the exact window where I had it. Such a ass. This is looking good. I mean, honestly, see, this is one way that I gauge, right? If I see the EM right in my zone, I do expect, I kind of wait for that. I mean, look at that. That expected move is right on the 50 where it's at right now, at least, right? Now that'll move in the morning, but I mean, tell me that doesn't look like a fucking awesome buy. So what is that? That's 670, 630. So that zone is basically 678 down to 671. And you may have a different zone in there, but whatever, right? Keep that area on lock. Ooh, that's some speed. That's, you know, I think Tesla's going to make a move now. Obviously it can chop around, but I feel like it, you know, this nice uptrend here, as long as we don't break that, so
I think we're going to pull back before anything happens. I think volume's going to come in and pull us back a little bit.
where do you think with like something like Tesla, where are you looking to pull back to? Are you looking like down here even? Because that's a,
I don't expect a huge pullback, but let's see. Looking at it, I think, let me see, let me get a bigger view.
I got a question after this.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be surprised. What is that? That's pretty far. I wouldn't be surprised if we tested 627 again, but I could see us bouncing to around 681 probably.
Yeah.
Do a 681 bounce, and I think at that point we should be, that would be enough of a pullback.
Yeah. And that's basically sticking above the 50 or right around there. Might get a wick down to that.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what, if anything else, if anything sells, that's a good trick, right? Like if stuff starts selling for like no apparent reason, like Tesla's always one of the quickest one to bounce back.
It is. People eat it up, man. I mean, and here's the thing, if I'm trading shares and I wasn't, you know, into contracts so much, I would have buy order here and I'd have a buy order here, you know, just sitting.
Yeah, I've been doing that too. I've been issuing a set orders now every morning. I only set them for the day. So essentially what I do is I go through everything, and some of the, like some of those mid cap and smaller caps that have been running, like Roblox and stuff, I've been setting orders in the morning. MU was one of them I caught, right? Like I said, my dream number. So if it hit this number, fill me. And I had it. I've done that with a couple different ones this past couple of weeks. For other ones that I'm not paying attention to, because in the morning you do get those quick wicks. I mean, if you get filled at some good numbers, then.
What did you just say? Which one did you just look at? This morning? Or the other morning? Oh, was it MU? Okay.
MU was one.
And
I
know you were talking about.
Was
Roblox.
RYF was another one I hit the other day. I got in at 230 and it wicked right back up to like 240. I think it actually went BRYYF. It sold, it had a pop on, I think, what, Thursday? Not Thursday. It was a Wednesday. I had a pop sold on Thursday. I had an order on Thursday at 230. And I think it went down to 225. It filled me at 230, but popped right back to 240. And it's been holding
Wait a minute.
240 since then.
Not
It's
BRYYF.
DRYYF.
DRYYF.
B. Like
E?
very B. Victor.
Oh, B. Barry. Sorry. Yeah, I should turn this shit off once.
Type it in the chat.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That would help. But I could always turn my headphones off and not act like I'm deaf. Oh, dude, I have that. I'm an idiot. BRYY. Yes, the Very Good Food Company. I love this.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I actually have. I don't know if I still have the lyrics. I guess I don't. The pops on
it's breaking out too. Yeah, it looks like it's the first breakout of the downtrend.
Yeah,
That's
it would be nice. It would be nice, and it's something you can buy. You know, this is. I mean, you know, I could buy a lot of shares of this, and it's not tapping into my. You know, it's not tapping into the funds to day trade with. Yeah, absolutely. Dude. Look at that. It's a nice fucking break and retest. All right, so we gotta see what this thing's doing tomorrow. Big time. Definitely something to swing. I mean, if we start coming up, I mean, we have all these averages above it, but you know,
Like you guys are saying, I think if we start seeing all the FANG kind of pull back, that might be the chance for mid cap, small cap start pushing a little bit while it's selling off.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm you know, I'm fine with I'm really not fine with saying. That's why I grabbed a lot of these, right? These are like, let's look at this. Like Docs, it's a relatively new, you know, obviously just IPO, but dude, it is strong, right? This thing, like I'm watching this nonstop. You know, it's done well in the past. But these are all like, I don't know, I call them like mid and small cap. I don't know if Coin is really a mid cap. What do you call it? Do you think Coin's a mid cap, or is that?
So larger cap. I don't know what the cap is for
Right.
Consider a large cap. It's pretty big. I mean, it's sitting at 250, so
yeah.
I'm not sure it's
No.
large cap.
Yeah, it's just under 55 billion market cap. So, okay. You know, this is another one from him. This looks decent. I mean, it needs to make a move, right? It's not one that I just buy right away, but this, and I did post this. I'll post an updated one, but I mean, this is a great spot. If we could get us,
good, yeah.
right? We move down to like 2015, somewhere in there. It's worth buying because you just throw your stop right here, right? And what I would do it probably 1885, something like that, 1875. Personally, that's what I would do. I mean, you can even come down. Well, see, I would rather stop out and just pick it up again down here, or just say, hey, it's a shit point. Hey, shit stock of that thing, right? Here I am talking crypto. We will talk crypto too, Matt. How long can you go, by the way, Matt? Well, and you, Marcus, I guess. I don't want to throw you guys off. I just know we're creeping up on time for an hour. But Matt, are you there? You might not.
Sure.
All right.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. How late can you go? Can you go past 10? Or can we keep the stream on?
Yeah.
Okay. Just in case we do, because I know it's creeping up, but I mean, there are a bunch to look at.
If you
We
look
don't
at
have to-
Apple, you can.
What's that?
If you look at Apple, we can.
Let's do it. Oh, what was your question, dude?
Want to look at Apple and Bitcoin?
Yeah, definitely look at Bitcoin. I like Apple, man. I mean, I do agree. The thing is, if we're going to get a pullback, we would, you know, Apple obviously would be part of it, but I don't see it getting below. This is obviously a big area here. There's that 144, 145. That was previous all-time highs. Where's your entry?
My
Mine?
entry? Oh,
Yeah. No, man, I know he got into it a while ago. Like, do you know what about your entry was? Doesn't need to be specific.
Yeah, it's about 147.50.
Okay. So you'd be okay with the pullback. You got time on it?
15.
Well,
Hang on, let me check. I think I got 15 days on. Hang on.
okay, so if we get a pullback, you want to see a bounce for sure.
I needed
You're
to
right up.
move this week. I do need it to move this week. I
Yeah.
need 150 plus this week at some point.
I mean, we could see it. I am going to do the expected move on Apple and
Look.
Microsoft before bed.
150 plus.
Ooh, you broke up.
Kind of a wash, and we'll look to get back in.
Yeah, Yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna
dude, that's-
lose money unless we go down. If we pull back into low 40s, 140s.
I mean, at this point, since if you're in the green at all, I would watch. I mean, if we break like this zone, like the 170, 50, I would probably. I mean, it depends on what the market's doing, but I would look to get out. Tag out, at least break even if that's possible, and then get back in down here because.
okay. Sure.
I mean, now with that said, I don't know if we're going to pull back. Like I do want it to, but it just depends. I mean, I don't know. It's just gone up so much that
I'm looking
as
at
bullish as I am. I think we really have to wait till volume comes in, because volume comes in, I think it sinks this bad boy pretty quick. Volume comes in.
I agree. It could
Maybe
sell,
right.
and I definitely agree with that, dude. And that might not be this week, right? That could be next week. It's like you said, that could be anywhere.
Yeah. I think
that could
even
be
when it looked
October.
like it was like first week of September. I mean, we got till Wednesday.
So I was
Yeah, and
looking
even-
at the 4-hour chart, and it looked kind of like a hammer on glass play on that 4-hour chart. You see that?
You're talking about here?
Yeah, you've got that just slow creep up, and it's like that ceiling about 150.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got above it and came right back down. So,
Yeah,
um,
but it looks like
Absolutely,
it's
dude.
knocking on the door.
I mean, I would be looking to take profits at this trend line, honestly. Or maybe even right here at that 150. I mean, that's 150.
Yeah,
Right?
any
Yeah.
hard resistances and stuff. It's good to take
Yeah.
profit and then just re-enter if it breaks out.
Absolutely. Because hoping that it'll go up and hit like 151, 152, this isn't worth it. I'd rather see you take profit in momentum. And the thing that you can do is you can hop over onto, that's where this active trader comes in, right? Even if you're not trading on it, you can hop over. You don't even have to be an active trader, but find your specific contract, right? Like literally right click it, highlight or press copy, and then go to the chart and, paste it there, right? And then look at where that contract, it'll give you an idea of what price you can take it at, right? Like what price you could set like a sell order. So if you're at work,
Show me. You're doing that in TOS, right?
yeah. So do you know what your contract is? I can show you real quick.
Hang on a second. Give me just a second.
Yeah. So let's go to chart, or actually let's go to. You got the September monthly.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I said 15 days, but it may be that 12 day. Hang on, I'm looking it up. I got it in Tastyworks.
Yeah, because I can show you real quick what I do, and this works for whatever, because it allows me to kind of get an idea. It doesn't mean it always will get to that price, but it's another way to chart trade that actual contract, right? Which I think is, it's worked out pretty well overall.
That's pretty cool.
It is, dude. Looking at the chart for that contract is phenomenal, because you just see where, if you can compare that with volume, and you can probably even put that on the chart where big volume came in. But with the wicks, right, going up. I mean, I'll show you here in a second, but it's just like any other chart. That large selling volume came in, if you're looking at that Apple chart, which I know it isn't shared right
12
now,
days.
but, okay, so 12 days, what's the strike?
148.
All right, so, you're in the money right now. So look, see how I just did that? I went and I right clicked on the ask, come down here and copy, okay, where it says point or dot, period, AAPL, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Oops. You have to actually left click it, not what I did. Okay, so we copied that. Now we're going over the charts, right? You highlight and then control B, and boom, that gives me, I think we're on the 4 hour here, right? So that right there is the chart for this thing, right? So you got to factor in theta. That's why, you normally see a slow creep down. We got and the cool thing is, like, I have the standard deviation channel up. That's, it's still giving you, it's downtrend, but that is pretty much common for unless something's rocking up, you're going to have a downtrend because of theta. But you can look here and be like, okay, maybe I could take this at 395, if you're, you can also compare this. I don't want to jump around too much, but you can actually compare this, right, with the chart for Apple. So what day was this? We can do this. That was Tuesday at 9 o'clock. What day was Tuesday? Let me get back, actually. So it's Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So yeah, when it hit 150.84, the peak of that contract is 444. So what I would probably do is put in a sell order at like 390, right? As long as that's giving you profit, that's what I would do. And that's it's totally up to you. If you want to get out of it and just make some money, you could set it here at the center line, right, at 314. I don't go by the standard deviation channel a ton. It's more about price action. But if we get a nice pop up, that trend isn't a downtrend. So, you could literally do a trend line, right?
Gotcha.
I don't know why it's not working. I haven't drawn everything. So you could go like this, right? There's a perfect downtrend. So yeah, I would probably look to take it around like 330. And that's if you just want to get out. That's if you think it's a smart move, mainly because you can take your profit, right? And then, like Marcus said, get back in, right? There's always going to be another pullback. You want to take profits. That's helped me a ton, just taking profits to like things, the account slowly creeps up.
Yeah, don't be greedy. Don't try to push it to. That's what's hard too. Even with like Don used to teach was like wait to the zone. But my thing is a lot of times when you watch price action, it starts dying out. And depending on your zone, right? Unless you're like right on, typically it'll start dying out before it even hits that zone. So
absolutely,
you notice anytime a loss of volume or anything, I cut and then I'll re-enter if need be, break a resistance or whatever.
Absolutely, that's what we do in the loss of value, dude. Like the thing is, it's stuttering to get up to that zone when it comes to contracts, unless you still have like 3 weeks on it, right? You're losing, like it's losing value, the price, and you can come to these charts.
Yeah, if you're playing weekly,
see it. Yeah, if you have, it's like he has 12 days left, right? If it takes all fucking day to get up to a zone, like you're going to basically be at the same point when, the same price of where the pop was, this is kind of a hard contract to do because Apple's been in a downtrend. But I would look at this. This is a pretty common theme for what I do. I tend to look at the chart on the active trader because I can pull it up side by side, but you can do it here on the chart tab. You can go back on demand and see, and actually ride it out. It's a really good tool to, to get comfortable with like just seeing where the price action on the contract is. You can probably, I'm sure there's a way to overlay this with Apple's chart. And actually, it looks like there's something overlaid on there.
Well, I have like what you have. I have it detached, so I have the chain and the another chart detached, and so I just copy and paste it over into the. You can actually what you can do. How did I do it? You can do the link. One of the charts
Yeah,
is set up to one of the links. So all I have to do when I'm looking at the chain is send it to that link list or whatever it's called, and then I can it pulls
oh,
that
you probably
contract
can't,
up.
you probably can't send to, right? Isn't there like a send to?
Yeah, there's a send to when you're looking at the chain. If you're looking at a specific contract.
Let's see,
Yeah,
148,
you can go send to, and then you just link it to one of
your colors. Yes.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you know if you have, you know, you set brown as just whatever you're sending your contracts to, and then you're right, you can pull up a chart and just have that sitting there waiting, or on Active Trader. You know, when I only use TOS, I use this a lot. And I got to say, like, one of the best between Don Kaufman's videos on it and Boiler Room Trading, they have, if you go back in the videos, they have a ton of tutorials on TOS. I mean, there's other people out there too, but those two
Yeah, I use
were good.
Boiler Room a lot too before.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. I mean, I don't necessarily trade like him. I'm in his chat. I'm not in there a lot, but I like his, I don't know, he's not super hyped up, you know. His videos can have goofy titles and shit, but when it gets into it, dude, he's real good with the information. So
Yeah.
I've always I appreciate that more than
Yeah, he's knowledgeable.
yeah. I don't want the hype. I don't want the shit talking. I don't want any of that, you know. So that's and I'm gonna make a video on this tomorrow. I'm actually hoping to make 2 videos tomorrow. But so like Matt, you can you know, hopefully you can refer back to that. Hopefully that makes sense, dude. And if, you know, I'm happy to help you with it. Cool. Because that's a great way to just, especially if you're working, dude, right? It doesn't have to be for scalping. Find a level that makes sense. Who cares if it shoots up to 150 or not even 150, but say 152, right? Like, and you took your profit, you made money.
Right.
Fucking, if it
Then
hits
fight another
150
day.
well, and listen, if it hits 152, there's a good chance it's going to pull back and find new support, you know, maybe at like 150, 120 here, right? Or 151, 14. Maybe that's your new entry, right? Depending on what the market's doing. You know, maybe that's your entry and you get a push up, you know, a couple days later, take profits again there and fucking call it a day and don't look back. So.
Well, that's one thing too. You got to definitely adjust. Every August, there's always low volumes. You got to kind of know what's going on with the volume situation and the kind of month you're going into, because you can't trade the same way every single month. It differs.
Stay flexible, right?
Yeah, like I said, low volume and stuff. Like you want to stick with strength, and then you're looking at other months. I mean, to be honest, like mid cap and small cap have just been getting hammered over the past couple of months. So.
Let's look at that real quick because I don't want to ignore it. I want to look at IWM because I don't want to look at IWM. I want to look at IWM. Hopefully, yeah. I think that's right. I don't know. Yeah, this is the expected move anyways. Let's look at it on the daily. That makes more sense, right? Okay, so, I mean, I'm almost expecting a push up to the top of this range. Maybe not all the way up to 234, but, you know, EM is here. What is that? 231.53, the gray there. And that would make sense, right? That's basically the top of the range. There's plenty of price action to deal with here. I mean, if we leave this area, we can look at the index, but obviously all you guys can too. But, you know, this is, you know, pushing up to here. This is the last bullish candle. You know, it would make sense to get right up near that EM. So that's something to ride up or wait for it to get up here and try shorting it, you know. I mean, I would love to see a breakout of this, but until we do, you know, it's like the reason I bought it down here. And I know a couple other people did in the chat, or at least Ray did. I think he caught it. I don't know how far he wrote it up, but it's, you know, it's a great, look at it on the weekly too. Look how it played. So that's like a weekly zone that I pulled out. And you go back to the daily, right? And that's like right where it's stuck, and then boom, shot out of it on Friday. Just a fucking tear, dude. So, and like you said, that was that Afghan race, I think, right on Thursday itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just something to pay attention to. But if this pushes up, small caps are going to go. I mean, there's no reason. Well, if small caps push up, IWM is going to go up. I guess, is the way it works. Right? Check out some of these. We'll look at Bitcoin next, but definitely, I don't want to. I know that the stream is getting kind of long, but like, dude, Livent, I always call it Livent, but it's not. LTHM. I think I'm still in this in shares, actually, in my other account. I mean, this just looks great, right? Like, it looks like it's flagging or whatever you want to call that. And it's holding support big time. For me, that's fucking huge. So if we can get a break above this, actually set alert, and link now, so that should show up on other squares. Anyways, this is a good one for me. DocS is another one. You wanted to let's look at Roblox real quick before we hit crypto, because I do have something to say about crypto. I think we're fucking going places.
I think Roblox is looking to do another retest here. That's one of the ones I want to watch tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, and this zones, I haven't touched this in a while. I actually kind of forgot about Roblox, so you probably have better zones on this than I do. So
I'm looking about 85, looking for a retest at 85.
Okay, so that is basically where it's
So if it can come down just a pinch, then it'll be a good entry. Perhaps a bounce continuation. Hopefully it'll break 100 again.
Yeah. I mean, dude, why not, right? It's in an uptrend, short term, but this downtrend is broken. So, I mean, it's been chugging up since then. So yeah, definitely looks good. This is, I don't know, nice thing. Let's go away. But yeah, Roblox, I like it, man. I mean, I know we're looking for a pullback here, but I got to be honest, if we get up above here, this is one that I wanted to do. I'm going to do the expected moves on this too when we're done with the stream. I could definitely see a pullback. Actually, I like it. But I would be buying this. This is another one, right? Like, come down, touch the 50, and fucking see ya. I missed this, dude. I was so pissed. Bro, I was so mad. I missed this. I would have bought shares in Facebook, because
Yeah. Yeah, Facebook is one of the ones I'll load up pretty heavy when it comes down.
I mean, look at this. Since fucking March, dude. It hasn't even really gotten to the 50, although this is the 100, the 200.
Oh, that 300. I was in there when it tagged 300. I was loaded at 300, yeah.
Oh, and then you said you tagged out or something, right?
I got once I held it all the way up, and then once it pulled back, I got tagged out. Yeah, and that big spike down. If you go back to the 300.
Yeah.
Man, I got tagged out.
Yeah, and that's the 50 or that's the 200, I guess, but whatever, right? That's the thing, man. I mean, it's hard to hold. Like, I have no interest in holding a contract or even shares down to that. But I try to remember to look at this bigger time. And this is the 4 hour. If you look on the daily, I mean, it's just beautiful, boom. And then here, obviously, it shot right up, pre-earnings, ran up. I mean, I think we caught some of that, actually.
Yeah, I caught some of that.
We definitely caught some of that. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind, right? So let's check out, but I would look at the rest of these, I guess is my point. MU, let's look there real quick. So that's on the daily. The only thing I don't like about MU is this downtrend that it's been in. But again, like, it's got room to move. What if we come down here and it touches? It's almost been in this downward channel. It's kind of a range is how I look at it. So I've missed it because I've been in other shit, but I did catch it a few days. It was either last week or the week before. So, I mean, keep something like this on it, this trend. I mean, it seems to be playing it pretty well. If we came down and touched that again, I'm probably going to buy it. Personally, I might even try to buy it in the zone, but it depends on what we're doing. So, anyways, there's a little speech on that. So take the heat and find the one and only Bitcoin. Woo-hoo. So I'm bullish Bitcoin. I know that there's a lot of talk in it. I could see us come down and test this April low again. But I've had this structure, this zone structure here for a minute now, a couple of weeks, and it has been playing it like a violin. So, and I'm not day trading Bitcoin at this point, but it's comforting, or keeps me confident that we're chugging up. So we may see a rollover, but I don't think we're going to see a huge pullback. Like I've seen things online, people are talking about down here like 42s. I don't know. I don't think we are, and it's just because we spent so much time in this consolidation that this isn't a dead cat bounce or anything. You know what I mean? This is just.
Oh no, I think I think once we get past 50, I think we're gonna run. We're going for 100 after that.
Yep. So Matt, I don't know if you're catching this or not, but we're on Bitcoin. But I mean, I definitely. Yeah, just it's like he was just saying. Like once we get above 50, we break all-time highs here. We'll probably get a retest. I mean, this is the daily, so obviously it takes a little time. But I do think we'll run again right up to here, right up. I mean, we will struggle up here again. I feel like that's you want to talk about price action. These two zones are going to be.
I think once we break 50, I think you're going to start getting people. You're going to start getting FOMO in again, and people will start rolling in, start pushing money.
Because people that missed this here, right? Which I technically missed this. I got in around here. I think 42 was kind of my line in the sand. I wanted to make sure we got up above it, and we retested and came back out. That's when I got back in. But I had
a couple times since around.
I had to buy
around 29.
What's that? You got in at 29?
Yeah, well, I bought and sold a couple times those dips.
Yeah, good, man. I'm glad to hear that, dude, because it's profitable. It's something you can make, even if you make a little bit of cash here and there, whatever. If anything, it's a confidence builder. It's one of those that let the FOMO drive people into it and use it as a structure to build confidence. I mean, that's the same with some of these big tech stocks lately. But yeah, I'm bullish on it. I mean, you can see this is curving a little bit, but I think once we pop out of this, it's going to roll. So it's like, when you look at that, that's a flag on the week, right? We could even come down here and test this at what, 48,200. But that's, I mean, as long as we don't get a close really below, even if we came down and touched this, I'm fine with that. It's the April lows. That's a heavy spot, man. We've come down and tested that a couple times within that week, and it holds every time, So now if we got to break below that, okay, maybe we'll come back down and test this area here. That's basically 4,200 or 42,000. Yeah, 4,200. Wouldn't that be nice? No, 42,000, but I don't expect it. So, I am watching Doge, the Doge coin. The Dicky Doge shitcoin, but it might not be. I'm just waiting for it to get up above this. I thought I had a trend line on it. Kind of waiting for it to get back into the zone, but I could see all it takes is some FOMO. If it gets down here, I'm going to buy it again. That's just my own personal, gamble, I guess you could call it. 88, beautiful, man. I think it will get above 3, but I could see it come down here again, and I'll probably add on. Dude, I've still held that position from when I drove to fucking, what was that? It was when we were coming here. I remember.
Yeah, mine is still really like 115 or something like that. So
that's phenomenal. Yeah, I think I was like 117 or something like that. That's where I actually got in. Yeah, it was right up in here. And it might have been April. I can't remember. I think it was, and my stop was basically, might even have been right here at like 94 cents. I think it was here though. I didn't want to see it break that, and it didn't. Thank God, dude. And I fucking pushed up. Now I should have added on, but I didn't. And I mean, whatever. It's still a decent sized position.
Well, you have to remember too, September 12th, they get smart contracts. And if that's the case, it's going to go parabolic
Yeah, dude. I mean,
after that. Because every project will move to ADA once they get smart contracts. That's the only thing that's holding it back.
listen, we won't go into it right now, but my neighbor Jonathan, he's in the chat. He's like number 2. Da, 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 da. I know you guys probably know what I'm talking about because I've tagged him a few times, but he is in surf, and surf isn't even on trading, right? But dude, he's actually developed a lot of the projects. Dude, he is a gold mine, bro. Like, and he will talk to you. You know, he's kind of reserved. He's not even reserved. He's just super humble, right? Like, so he's not really. But dude, he's in surf. Stacks is another one. He just got a grant to do another project for them. Stacks is like giving away money to people that they have like $50 million for grant money to build the Stacks network, right? So like you have to propose it, and there's this whole thing. But dude, I'm gonna start putting some of that info into maybe the fundamental of crypto, or maybe the info crypto channel where it's not gonna just disappear. But it is by far good. Like, there's some cool shit. So it's interesting. You know, I'll post some stuff there, but you can always tag him. He'll talk to you. You know, he's happy to do it. He just isn't probably gonna like put the shit out there. You know. But there's like surf. I'm looking to buy surf, right? And I'll post some of the stuff here this week. The price I think is at like 29 cents. But dude, you want to talk about getting smart contracts and starting to have some real serious stuff hit the floor. And he uses Uniswap, and then he stakes it, right? And I mean, I've seen like he shared his not invoices, but whatever. He like, you know, we chatted a bunch about it, and you know, he's getting paid on it. Same with his ETH, his Ethereum. He's getting pretty decent dividends on it. And even when the stock drops, my concern is that I want to be able to take profit on it. But I may stake, you know, like half the position. As long as it looks like we're going to push up and stay bullish. Even when the price drops, people the volume increases on the staking. So anyways, my point is I won't spend too much time on this, but I'm going to try to get some of that stuff, or either have him post it or I'll post it, what he shared with me, as long as it's good with him, obviously. But a lot of it's just general information, but it's definitely worth looking at, man, because there's, you know, and it's valid. He's making money, and if your position, I know Cardano is the same. Like, there's a lot of ways to stake on that. Are you staked on your Cardano, by the way?
Yeah, I've been staking it since I had it.
Yeah, I didn't. I should do it more, man. I mean, trying to wrap my head around some of it. Same with the NFTs. Like, I have yet to really buy NFTs, but I am trying to follow it more. So it's hard to know.
I think his name is JR Crypto. He's been heavy into NFTs lately, and there's been some really, the Ape set or whatever that's been out. Man, people have been flipping them from like 5. I guess they were selling them for like 5, and I guess someone just sold them for $1 million yesterday.
Dude, you know, we're in the secondary market. I heard someone say that the other day, but it's still a huge market, right? Like, I don't know, man. Some of that shit's monsters. So I'm trying to get it. I don't know. I don't want to just dump a ton of money. What I have been doing is getting into some of these Discord chats, right, where they do some giveaways and trying to get a feel for it. There's a lot of bullshit in there, but there are, you know, it's a good way to like get, like, the surf community is really, like, their chat is pretty solid. I'll post an invite to that when I do this in the info crypto section. That's not NFTs, but it's kind of like that Amplify art. That's something to pay attention to, because that may take off if it starts to gain traction, which it's already getting some artists in there. I mean, that's something where these album covers aren't really that expensive, right?
Well, so that's the thing. I mean, if you're willing to hold, like, it's just planting seeds. Like right now, like even ADA, like people are jumping in and out, but if you just held it for like 5 years, right? You don't even have to put a lot of money in it. Imagine where ADA is going to be in 5 years.
Dude,
if you're talking, and if it takes over like
Yeah.
Bitcoin or Ethereum. Imagine if it hits $1,000 and you had it at even
That's
250, right?
Yeah.
You
Or
put
even
$1,000 in
$3.
that 250 and they hit $1,000. I mean, really, you don't need to put that much in. You just got to plant your seeds now in crypto, and you'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely right, dude. It is worth taking my chunk, and that's kind of where I'm at with. I mean, Bitcoin I'm holding. I will probably play the bear market, but like I have XLM, I have Link, I have LTC, Litecoin, or whatever it is. I have Stacks now. Let me show you Stacks. So Stacks, I mean, it's pretty choppy, right? But I mean, dude, this thing, you want to talk about, I mean, it was literally, it was either 30 or 50 million. I'll post this shit. They were given just like within the last year, dude, and they've been handing it out to people to build their network, right? It was meant totally for donations, all investor funded. Like they're doing, this is like true utility, right? Like ADA, it's like the ADA, like you say, they start getting the smart contracts, and they can turn down the gas fees. They're going to be used. So I have no problem buying $1,000 worth of Stacks. You know what I mean? I have no problem doing that with ADA, XLM. And I know people, XLM might be a shit coin, but I like it. I think it's going to pop. But Stacks is a good one. Surf, like I said, is not on here, but at 29 cents, dude.
Yeah, I've heard of Surf before.
Dude, it's there. The thing is, what I like about Surf and Stacks is that Jonathan's like worked on. I mean, he's built projects for him, right? And I mean, he's getting paid as an IT guy, like a legitimate. He's not cheap necessarily, right? I don't think he's expensive, but they're obviously paying him a fair amount, dude. It's his career. So, and he kind of fell into it. But the thing is, I see the value, the real growth. And unless something major changes in the market, this shit's only going to keep going up. So
that's it. I mean, it's like getting the ground floor in the stock exchange, right? That's exactly what it is.
Right.
It's because I've been looking at, not to get too off topic, but I've been looking at one of the developers that I follow that does blockchain. He just talked about flash loans and looking for the inconsistencies between the different exchanges and using smart contracts to take advantage of that, and using the pool money. So you're typically taking loans you don't have to pay anything on, and using flash loans to like skim off the differences between them.
Dude, that's that's a whole nother form of scalping.
Yeah. I read a book about a guy who was a first programmer on the stock exchange who did that and made a shit ton of money when the stock exchange was first going on to computers. And that's exactly what's happening. It's the same cycle happening over, but with Bitcoin, with crypto. I was like, man,
it's pretty crazy, dude. That's where, I mean, the guy from not trading, what the fuck's it? The guy that's on YouTube, it's big. The stock market, I think, is the channel. Josh, right? From
Jeremy?
No, Josh is his name, but
Josh.
Oh, he calls the cat the Chad, the Cole. It's trading.
Yeah.
Is it
Trading for trading? Yeah. I listen to him all the time.
Yeah, I keep him on a lot of times in the back. Well, at least when like I had him on Friday because he pulls the links up. I don't have to chase him as much, although I'll keep them. I appreciate that Bloomberg thing, by the way. That was pretty handy. But dude, anyways, what was I trying to say here? Oh, he talks about snaking the chain, right? I mean, it's just a term for putting in a limit order that's real low. But with the volatility, you'll get these wicks down, right? If you're looking at the actual contract chart, that's where you get these wicks that drop down. That's how I grabbed Google, right? Google L, whatever. Yeah. On Friday, dude, I was there, and I honestly thought a pullback's going to come, but I just put in the order, got filled. Obviously, that worked. That was like, that was a fucking killer run. But the thing is, man, like that shit with Active Trader, bro, you can do that and scalp the chain. Like, and on something like Shop, dude, all you got to play is the bounce. I mean, all it is scalping, but to me, it's so much. I mean, it's fast enough that I can actually do it compared to being like on my phone or even just watching the actual chain. I'll select the contract, the volume, get in there, set a cheap price, dude. You know, looking at the chart, you know, I have Trading View up with the shop open next to it. And I mean, bro, these things can drop $200 at a time, right? So even if I'm making $200, if it takes 10 minutes, like I don't care, you know? I mean, I'm still looking at the chart long-term or in hourly trend, you know, 4 hour, I want to know those levels. I'm still trying to buy like when it hits a zone or at least, you know, support. But I mean, it's kind of fun to do, and there's definitely a way to make money if I've done it. That makes me think of it anyways. You know, it's kind of like just grabbing the cheap, you know, if you have the order there waiting, and I can change. That's the beauty of Active Trader. You can just click on the next price, dude. As you see the volume moving or the orders move, you just kind of jump under it, right? Keep, you know, $100 off of it or $10 off of it, whatever. And you can set it to buy 10 at a time if you want, or just 2 or whatever. It's definitely something worth doing. So what else, anything else? We should probably look at Microsoft, right? Just to see where it's at. And look at that. I mean, there's really not much going on here except that how this is good price action. It's definitely good price action. You look at where came down, tag that like to the T. I mean, that's a level I probably should have had marked out already. But come down, boom, buy that, bounces back up. You know, if it holds above this, going into let's see what that is. Yeah, it's still beautiful. You know, that's just, that might have tagged that. No, that was at open, dude. Talk about perfect price action, right? So this is the 5 minute, but come right down, boom. This is a perfect example, right? This is a daily level. Sometimes I even put a D over here so I know it. This comes down, boom, tags it, bounces up. Now, I wouldn't want to hold this, you know, obviously just went sideways, but that, what is that?
I know that's why I just play like, during the first hour and a half, typically with options.
Yeah, I mean, it's a $4 move, right? So on an in-the-money, at-the-money contract, that'll pay out, you know, and that's just per contract. So even if you played it up till the open price, right? So, oops, you know,
yeah, it's because after the 11 o'clock, like options just start getting chewed up after that point.
They do. I mean, unless you get a nice move, you know. So a $3, basically a $3 move up to the open price, you know, or right at cash open. So even if that's where you sold into momentum, you know, there's a play to be made there for sure. So that's yeah. I guess back to this. So, Matt, was there anything else that you wanted to look at, man?
No, that's good for me.
All right. I mean, there's a lot that we could look at. I don't want to drag us on, you know, too late. But definitely check out that. I think these are all worth looking at, like Dash. These up here, besides Coin, like Crowd has earnings. What's that?
Starbucks, S-Bucks.
Yeah, S-Bucks is actually one that my chiropractor said. I think we're going to see a turnaround with it. It held here nicely. I don't want to see it go below the zone. I really don't want to see it even dip into the zone, although I take it if we get a nice, you know, if we're selling off over across the board.
It's sitting right on that 200.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this thing, what is that? That's 200.
I think if it ever breaks that 200, it'll drop.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the 100 EMA on the daily. Oh. But right, whatever, right? I mean,
it's still 200 on the 4. If you go the 4 hour, it's a 200.
Is it? Yeah.
See how that matches?
Isn't that funny how it matches up though? It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, it bounced here on it. I mean, it did break it, but anyways, you know, all things aside, I think it's going to be all right. My chiropractor's into this, so I'm actually going to meet with him Wednesday to go over some things. He wants to learn, trade me some back breaking to the back cracking So I'll take him up on it. Good shit, man.
Alex,
Let's go.
the mentor on the road.
Mobile mentor.
Mobile mentor.
No work for food. That's right. Why not, man? No, he's pretty cool. I mean, he's got a guy feeding him plays. And actually, so far what I've seen the last like 2 or 3 weeks, I guess it's been, is legit. So, but still, it's just him being fucking spoon fed. So I'm like, look, man, I can show you how to like at least understand what's going on and give you a place to start and go from there. So why not? Shit. All right, guys, let's go. Let's do this. Call it a night. My son is screaming in the bedroom next to me.
All right, dude.
Yeah, guys, thank you very much. And Matt, can you post this or send it to me and I'll post it when it's done?
Yeah, man.
Even
Yeah,
if it's tomorrow, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
right,
Hopefully
see
this is
y'all.
good.
See you guys.
All right, see you guys. Bye.